That was quick. Their lawyers are working overtime. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything. It ends with us saga. I pray to God that at least one of my 3 children become a lawyer because they make the money. Earlier today, I shared with you all the explosive letter that Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, who's also my lawyer, had sent to the judge today. He was explaining why he subpoenaed Taylor Swift's law firm. Because he has been given information that expert extortionist Blake Lively attempted to extort Taylor Swift. I'm inclined to believe the contents of this letter because I don't think Brian Friedman would fabricate these allegations. Actually, I'll take it a step further. I don't even think Brian Friedman would have mentioned this to the judge unless he could back it up with receipts, proof, timeline. So many explosive allegations, such as witness tampering, ball-busting Blake telling Taylor Swift to delete their text messages, the Cherokee Queen threatening her that if she didn't help her by releasing a public statement, that she would leak their text messages herself. Oh my God. Anyways, today, just moments ago, her lead attorney, Mike Gottlieb, responded by submitting his own letter to the judge. They are asking to strike the letter that Brian Friedman submitted earlier today. Basically, pretend it never happened. Team Pinocchio's attorney says that letter, which was not filed with any evidentiary support of any kind, much less anything under oath, falsely accuses Miss Lively and her counsel of engaging in witness tampering and evidence spoliation. The letter also alleged that Blake Zilla's lawyer contacted Swift's attorney and intimated a threat to release a public statement of support on her behalf. And his attorney claims that hers put this threat in writing. That's why the subpoena was served against Taylor's attorney. Discovery, and that would be quite the discovery. However, they're very angry, and in the letter that was filed in response, her attorney says, Miss Lively requests that the court strike the Friedman letter pursuant to its inherent power to control and to strike material from its docket that is abusive or otherwise improper under the circumstances. It should be unnecessary to respond to anonymously sourced, baseless allegations recklessly leveled without any supporting evidence. Then don't. Don't. It is worth stating for the record, however, that each of the allegations in the Friedman letter is unequivocally and demonstrably false. As a legal matter, the Friedman letter is improper. It does not seek any form of relief, is irrelevant to any motion currently pending before the court, and serves no legitimate purpose. It is not useful to the court in any respect. Pause. His letter was in direct response to their motion to quash the subpoena against her attorneys, which still has not been decided by the judge. Because actually, this judge does not have jurisdiction over the subpoena, which was served in Washington, D.C., where her law firm is based out of. So what she is accusing him of doing, she herself has done. Gaslighting! Miss Lively filed a letter This most recent one goes on to explain, to which the Friedman letter purports to respond as a courtesy to inform the court about motion to quash proceedings that Venable commenced in another federal court and to preserve her own right to object to the third-party subpoena. But she did not ask the court to take any action. Literally what they just accused him of. This letter was clearly written haphazardly, very quickly, very, very, very quickly. But she did not ask the court to take any action, and her letter did not merit or warrant any response from Mr. Friedman, let alone one that purports to manufacture a conspiracy theory in order to obtain communications from opposing counsel via a third party. So she sought no relief. She was not responding to any motion before this court. And now she's mad that he did the same. The latest letter from Team Amber Lively says, the apparent intent of the Friedman letter is to launder scandalous and defamatory allegations about Miss Lively and opposing counsel into the press by abusing the court's docket and avoiding the order requiring attorneys in this case comply with Rule 3.6 of the New York Rules of Professional Conduct. Within minutes of the Friedman letter appearing on the court's docket at 1:50 p.m., media outlets began publishing stories concerning the Friedman letter, including one that posted a 40-plus paragraph article at 1:55 p.m. that asserted as fact that Miss Lively threatened to expose Taylor Swift's private texts unless she publicly sided with her in Justin Baldoni feud. That was a Daily Mail article, and they are insinuating that his team leaked the letter before they filed it with the court, which they probably did. The latest letter continues. During a hearing on February 3rd, 2025, this court explained to the parties that it would intervene if it turns out that this ends up being litigated in the press in a way that would prejudice the opportunity of the parties to a fair trial. The court should promptly strike the Friedman letter from the docket to avoid exactly the result it presaged at the initial hearing. Miss Lively respectfully requests that the court exercise its inherent authority to control its own docket and strike the Friedman letter as unnecessary, improper, and abusive. Save the best for last. Save the best for last. Why am I'm so excited about this? I love this. I love my job. I love you for watching. Miss Lively reserves the right to move for sanctions consistent with Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure in connection with the Friedman letter at an appropriate time. Meaning, not only do they want the court to strike this letter, but they want revenge. They want Brian Friedman punished, sanctioned for even sending the letter. But like I said, he sent that letter, I think, for good reason, with good intel. I believe Brian Friedman. How about you? Like, hello? Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds. She is so done with her. Thoughts on everything that we have learned in this video? Let's discuss in the comments section